The MVP race is over, folks. We're barely 2 months into the season, and Nikola Jokic getting the MVP trophy is basically a formality at this point. Triple-doubles, record-breaking stat lines, and carrying the Nuggets on his back.
Jokic gonna heave, and count if it goes.
Yes! Let me explain to you why I'm so confident about it. First, Nikola Jokic is putting up one of the most dominant seasons we have ever seen. At the moment, he's literally averaging a triple-double with over 32 points, 13.5 rebounds, and 10 assists a game. All this while shooting 56% from the field and 50 from 3. That combination of volume and efficiency is unheard of, even for Nikola. That 3-point percentage stands out right away. Throughout his career, Nikola Jokic has been shooting 35% from deep, attempting around 3 and making 1 a game. This season, Jokic is attempting 4.4 3-pointers and making half of them. That increase obviously impacts the total field goals too. Almost 22 shots per game is so far a career high for the Joker, but he's still managing to keep that insane efficiency he's known for his whole career. Highest usage rate ever, and Jokic is as reliable, if not better. Nuggets coach Michael Malone really made a great point in response to any last bit of criticism that Jokic receives.
You know, people say, oh, Joker's not in shape. You can't do what he does if you're not in shape. You really can't. It's just how efficient he is. He's not one of those guys that's putting up huge numbers and it's just stat hunting and taking bad shots. He's doing it all for this team.
It's true, Jokic's impact goes beyond numbers. His ability to play nearly 40 minutes a night, orchestrate the offense, and still finish with some of the highest efficiency in NBA history is nothing short of remarkable. Plus, it's not just the averages he has. Jokic is making history nearly every night. Honestly, it's sort of a joke now. I don't remember the last time that the Joker's headlines didn't have the word history in them. Just last week, he scored 56 points against the Wizards, followed by 48 against the Hawks. That's 104 points in 2 days, making him the first player in NBA history to post 100 plus points, 30 plus rebounds, and 15 plus assists in 24 hours. Even in losses, he's setting records. Against Washington, his career high 56 points came with 16 rebounds and 8 assists, which made him the first player to hit those marks while knocking down multiple threes. He really cooked my fellow countryman Valanciunas in that one. Although it must be noted Denver suffered an embarrassing defeat, as before that game Wizards were on a 16-game losing streak. Against Cleveland, Jokic dropped a casual 27, 20, and 11 triple-double, passing Magic Johnson for third on the all-time triple-double list, totaling 139 now. Let me give you a bold prediction real quick. I think Nikola Jokic will end up as the guy with the most triple-doubles in history. Big O sits at the second spot with 181 triple-doubles. There's over 60 games left in the regular season alone. Joker's averaging a triple-double, so I think he gets it done by the middle of next season. Then the task will be overtaking his current teammate Russell Westbrook, who's got 200 at the moment. Considering Westbrook had only 2 triple-doubles in these past few seasons, I see the Joker getting there too. Before we dive deeper into the MVP picture, if you enjoy content just like this, make sure to subscribe. Let's get that 92% non-subscribed viewer stat way down. So, why is Jokic a lock for the MVP in my eyes? I guess it's in the actual name of the award. Nobody else can make a better case for being the most valuable for the team. When Jokic is on the court, the Nuggets are first in offensive rating, net rating, field goal percentage, 3-point percentage, and assist to turnover ratio. Without him, they're dead last in the offensive rating, field goal percentage, and near the bottom in nearly every other metric. Chandler Parsons put it bluntly.
When he goes out of the game, they stink. Like they are a completely different team.
Sounds harsh, but it's the reality of the Nuggets so far. Of course, despite all of these numbers, Jokic himself is staying humble. After the win over Atlanta, he credited his teammates saying, "The ball is finding me. The ball is going in most of the time." And yeah, Westbrook has really put an emphasis on finding him in the post, which has obviously been working. But that's classic Jokic, deflecting praise while carrying a team on his back. I know what you're saying right now. You're saying Jokic will be the MVP in December while the Nuggets are 7th in the West at the moment. And you're right, if Denver doesn't at least guarantee a playoff spot, or in other words finish lower than the 6th seed, it would make the conversation a bit more difficult. Historically speaking, there has only been one case when Wilt won it from the 7th seed in 1976. In fact, there were only 3 more cases to win the MVP, playing for the 6th seed team with Jokic, Westbrook and Moses Malone. But that's not what I expect to happen. I still see this team in the top 5 of the Western Conference. Yes, Denver has felt the absence of KCP. Yes, Jamal Murray is having the worst season in the last 5 years. Yes, Aaron Gordon has missed more than half the team's games. So there's the potential to improve right there if those two start impacting the game more. And yes, they have one of the worst benches in the NBA. But once again, that makes Jokic's impact even more valuable. So if they finish in at least the 6th seed in a really competitive Western Conference, it's over. Right, so what about the other MVP candidates then? The thing is, Nikola Jokic didn't start the season as the MVP favorite. If we look at the odds back in June, he opened at plus 475, sitting behind Luka Doncic and Joel Embiid. But fast forward to December and he's now the frontrunner at plus 150. So what happened? The answer is simple, Jokic just took over. It's not like the early favorites like Shea, Luka or Tatum aren't having great seasons. It's simply the fact Jokic has obliterated expectations. His record-breaking performances and sheer importance to the Nuggets have forced a shift in the narrative. As one article put it, Jokic went nuclear, and the sportsbooks had no chance but to respond. Talking about other players' cases for the MVP, I think Giannis is having a dominant season personally. As of now, he's toe-to-toe with Jokic in points, also grabbing over 11 rebounds and dishing out 6 assists. But here's the problem, the Bucks have been inconsistent. A rough start to the season has hurt Giannis' case so far. To win over Jokic, assuming the stats remain the same, I think he would need the Bucks to be in at least the top 3 of the East, and it's highly unlikely. Then I think you look at SGA. He's leading the top team of the Western Conference while putting up the best numbers after the Joker and Giannis.
I think SGA would be the best guy in the West if Jokic wasn't averaging a 56.1 a game, points, rebounds, and assists. He's in the 56 club right now. It's like him and Wilt Chamberlain.
The Canadian is averaging similar numbers he did last season with around 30 points, 5 rebounds and 6 assists. His case is strengthened the most due to standings, as it's really common for the 1st or 2nd seed team's leaders to be rewarded with the MVP. Jason Tatum is also in the conversation. He's leading a stacked Celtics squad that looks like the best team in the league. And he's been putting up strong numbers, just under 29 points, nearly 9 rebounds and 6 assists per game. But again, it's not enough. Tatum is playing great, but he's doing it alongside elite talent like Jaylen Brown and Kristaps Porzingis. Jokic, meanwhile, is dragging a Nuggets team that looks lost whenever he's not on the court. And then you start looking at Luka, maybe Kat, but here's the thing, when you stack them up against Jokic, the gap is enormous. Finally, let's talk about voter fatigue for a second. If you're not familiar, it's that unwritten rule where voters get bored of giving the same guy the MVP every year. It's how Jordan, LeBron somehow didn't win MVPs during their peak seasons. And yeah, Jokic has been here before himself. He lost out to Embiid in 2023 despite putting up numbers that were arguably even better than his first 2 MVP campaigns. Yet the voter fatigue only works when there's room for debate. This year, I don't see any debate so far. Jokic isn't just having a great season, he's having an all-time season. As John Hollinger pointed out, he's en route to achieve the NBA's equivalent of a triple crown, leading the league in points, rebounds, and assists per game. Nobody in the 78 years of NBA history has ever pulled that off. When you realize how unique the season has been so far and the potential it has, the narrative around voter fatigue crumbles. Jokic isn't just producing MVP caliber numbers, he's redefining what it means to be valuable in the modern NBA. Voters love unique moments in time, and this is exactly that. Sure, there's a long season ahead, but if Jokic keeps this up and the Nuggets finish at least 6th, I think the MVP race won't be even close. You're watching one of the most dominant and unique seasons in NBA history unfold, and Nikola Jokic is the star of that show. Not just running the MVP race, but as Austin Rivers said, lapping the competition. Now, I'm curious to know what you guys think about Jokic's chances to win his 4th MVP. Am I rushing to conclusions way too early? Let me know in the comments below, make sure to drop a like, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you in the next one.